Hi guys. So I'm making this video to give you an overview and the lesson from Friday and Monday. Friday and Monday's class, what we did was we filled out our organizer here assignment. And our organize here assignment is basically taking our graphic organizer for our essay and combining it with our idea of race to merge those two together in order to expound on our answers. So we are doing two different poems. My Sac State Hornets are doing The Hill We Climb, which was the inaugural poem by Amanda Gorman. And if you are in the University of Hawaii, you are doing Morning. I just went blank. You are doing The Miracle of Morning. I got it. The Miracle of Morning. All of those things can be found in our second period Google Classroom. And I'm going to jump right into it. So in these poems, the inaugural video is where you find your poem, and Sac State, you already know that. And in Miracle of Morning is where you find your poem. We've already gone through and highlighted all of the alliteration, and we also focused in both poems on alliteration and repetition. We highlighted those two. I'm going to go into the inaugural poem because this is where my example is going to come from. We looked for just a little refresher, just in case you didn't do. This was the assignment we did about a week ago. We went through and found alliteration. Alliteration are, again, the same sound at the beginning of words, like Peter Piper, or right here, we actually have one highlighted. We braved the belly of the beast. And now the important part, let's not forget, we've been talking about it for a week now, the important part of understanding figurative language is when we understand the reason the poet chose to put figurative language right there was in order to make your brain focus on the theme. Now we have two different themes going on, but we've been talking about the theme in class over and over again. So you should have the theme written down couple different times, but just to remember, the theme is the moral of the story. The theme is the easy way to find a theme is an if-then statement. If this, then this. And so what we did was we went through and on our graphic organizer found 5 forms of alliteration and at least 1 repetition. I believe both classes found 2 repetitions. Those are located in your sorry, it's smooth sliding. Let me fix it. There we go. Graphic organizer for poetry. I haven't moved anything out of the very top so that we could have this. So right here in class together, we wrote down the theme. You chose at least 5 forms of alliteration, and then you chose 2 repetitions, which for both, honestly, they only have about 2. So now that we have these, we're going to take these and talk about how we can explain how each of these alliterations that you've written, that you wrote last week, how they relate to the theme and how they explain the theme. And we're going to do that in our Organize Here. I put a few little tidbits on the Organize Here to get you started. We did a lot in class to get you started, and I stalked those of us that were working hard in class. Great job, you guys, those of you that are putting forth your effort. I know this is a difficult process. But if you go to Organize Here, scroll to Organize Here, we have our prompt, which we've discussed, which is how does Amanda Gorman use figurative language to express her theme. This theme is the theme for the inaugural poem. We've done you can see The Hill We Climb. The Hill We Climb. This is the theme for the inaugural poem. The Miracle of Morning also has a theme, and we've done that one in class. And it's written right there because we did them all together in the Organizing Our Thoughts. The thesis, our thesis, remember, is going to be race. Think race. Do you remember what a thesis is? The word thesis. Yes, a thesis is the main point of your essay, the main idea summarized in one sentence. And so in the poem, The Hill We Climb, Amanda Gorman uses blank to express her theme. I gave you a little bit of a frame, well, a lot of a frame, but you're going to have to figure it all out. I can't write the essay for you. Okay? So, then we have two main ideas. We have that she uses alliteration, and then we have that she uses repetition. Both poems are doing the same 2 points. So what you're going to do is you're going to write your main idea number 1, which is Amanda Gorman uses whichever one you pick to express the theme. Now, we have our R and our A, because here's our restating. Uses figurative language to express her theme. Uses blank to express her theme. Answer. Alliteration. And also repetition is farther down. Now we need to cite evidence and explain, and then cite and explain. We're going to need to use at least 4 alliterations, 4 pieces of evidence, and at least 2, well, there are only 2 just about, repetitions for both classes, both poems. So I want to give you an example so that you have something to go by, and we did this in class together. Both classes, we did one, but I want to videotape it just in case you need to stop, pause, think about it, hear it 2 or 3 times. Feel free to rewind these videos and watch them over and over again until you understand exactly what to do. So this section, this evidence is going to be written like a paragraph, but you're going to need to find examples. And I started us off with the frame for example, which is a transition frame. And let me, so in the poem, let me pull up the poem, the inaugural poem, which is The Hill We Climb, because I've got that on here, we can find on page 3, sorry, the very first line. I purposely chose to do this because no one is using this. And so I'm going to use an alliteration that no one else is going to use. I also chose this because it's difficult. Sorry, it's a whole line here. And so you don't have to, you're not copying what I'm doing. You cannot use this alliteration. You have to use your own, but you can use it for an example. So I want you to go and find an alliteration for yourself. One that you put in your graphic organizer. Mine is blank, but yours has alliterations right here. So choose an alliteration and pause this video. And once you have your alliteration, let's do this together, okay? Okay, now that we both have an alliteration, what we have to do, remember the process of determining the use of figurative language. First you find, then you determine meaning, then you explain the connection, right? So determining the meaning for me, to compose means to make up. A country, before I determine meaning, let me make sure I found my alliteration. Alliteration is the first sound being the same, and I can look at this and see that almost every word is a C word. So you have to compose a country committed to cultures, colors, characters, and conditions of men. So there were 14 words, and 7 of them start with the letter C. So half of these are C words. That's definitely an alliteration. So I found it. Now I need to determine meaning. To compose means to make up something, to make up of something. So my little baby clip is made of wood, as composed of wood and metal. So compose a country, so that our country is made of, committed, so that's making a promise to take care of, like if I commit to someone, if I commit to an idea, I'm pledging to that idea. All cultures, colors, characters, and conditions of man. So what do we think that means? That we are a group who has pledged to stick with, remember our theme, cultures, colors, characteristics, and conditions of man. Very different group, a whole bunch of different things, but we're committed. We're pledging to stick to it. So let me go to, I want you to take your alliteration. You're going to pause this video and think about what does your alliteration mean in relationship to the theme, okay? Okay, are you back? Did you figure out what your alliteration meant in relationship to the theme? Okay, you might need to use a dictionary to look up some of the words, and that's okay. This is a challenging assignment, and we're stretching our brain and we're growing as learners. So let's talk about our race, okay? So we have, I'm gonna put this, I'm going over here so that nothing else is written on our document, because this is your document. Or actually it's the document for, if you're Sac State, this is your document. So I don't want to put mine right here, but I would be writing this right here, okay? And you can see because I've copied and pasted this on my document. All right, so here I have R and A, which is Amanda Gorman uses alliteration to express the theme for the hill we climb is, if we stick together, we can get through difficult times. And the Miracle of Morning has quite a similar theme, ironically. And I put a symbol R and A and colored it red just for this lesson, just for our video, so that you could kind of physically see the differences. If this helps you to color it, go for it. And then at the end, we'll just highlight your whole essay and change the color back, so it's not a problem. So for my citing my evidence, I made it green. I literally copied and pasted. I said in her poem, she states, and I copied and pasted my line right there. And I made sure I put quotation marks around it because I copied and pasted Miss Gorman's word. I want to make sure I give her credit for it. Then I have to explain, how does that alliteration work with my theme of sticking together, we can get through a difficult situation? Well, the words in this alliteration start with the letter C. And all of those words highlight the fact that we're a country put together of different types of people who must stick together. Do you see right here how I took the words of the theme and applied it to the evidence? So this is what you're going to do with alliteration 4 times and repetition 2 times. Once you have done your R and A, that only needs to be done once for everything. That's why it's a little bit bigger. Okay? Then you're just going to go CE, then CE, then CE, then CE. So you have your main idea. Go back to your organizer. I separated, as you can see, the RA and put it here. And then your evidence is going to be a whole bunch of CEs right here. Then, after you're done with alliteration, you're going to do the same thing for repetition. Main idea is going to go up on top. And then under it, you're going to do 2 different cite your evidence and then explain your evidence. The nice thing about this is once we have finished this particular part of the organizing our ideas and expressing our ideas process, we are almost finished with our essay. That's the best part of the way we're writing this is we're collecting up all the pieces of the puzzle and we're putting the puzzle together on Wednesday and Thursday. So I hope this video helps. Feel free to watch it as many times as you need and have a great day.